Hello, hello. Welcome to CRM Connect for Sales Process. My name is Tamara. I am your host for the weekly CRM Connect call here at Sales Process. So good to see you guys here on this Thursday. It's very hot here in Canada. We're not used to it. Nobody's sleeping. We're cranky and sticky. And it's not a pleasant feeling. How is everybody today? All right, you guys are quiet. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Peng Jun has his big call today as well. So we may be a little shy in the attendees for today, but that's okay. First of all, I want to open up the floor to anybody who's having tech issues. Let's get you moving again. What's holding you back? Do you have anything that you're struggling with to get working in sales process? You can pop off of mute, or you can ask the question in the chat and we'll try and get you moving again. Does anybody have any tech questions? Jodine. You're right. Don't remind me. I shouldn't be complaining. But you know what? Honestly, there's a reason that this girl was born in Canada is because I just don't handle heat well. You're right. It will be minus 30 in 20 days. That's right. Okay, well, so on Monday, I sort of alluded to that there was going to be a bit of an announcement in the form of how office hours were going to be conducted and what was going to be taking place. So from now on, what the team has decided is they would like the office hours to be just open tech office hours. So we're going to get rid of the lessons, I guess, and just have it an open hour for you guys to show up and ask your questions and get help. And I believe that that's how all of the office hours are going to be from now on for the rest of like every day, every week. They said that there will be some times where there's going to be special training and they will announce that at that time. But they have decided from your guys' feedback that they're not going to do lessons anymore. So basically, these are going to turn into live support calls where you can come and get live support with any issues that you're having. And so we're going to try that for a little while, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. And I know they're always wanting to hear your feedback about what's working for you and what isn't. And they're also going to be, July will be the last month for the hashtag Sales Process Wins contest. So we are August 1st today. So they're starting something new. I'm not sure what it is, but there will be an announcement. And that's as much as I know, guys. Anybody have any questions about that or any thoughts or feedback about moving to this kind of open style office hours?
If only they would just do the workflow intensive, it would all work out.
Yes. Yeah. I mentioned to them again, I said, like I would love to host like a monthly workshop where we go deep on a couple of the features and just really get into it. I think that they're mulling that around, and I know they have a lot going on with outside of office hours. And so we're just patiently waiting to hear what they decide. But So they're still finalizing what these office hours are going to look like. Hi, thank you. Oh, that's very sweet of you to say. Thank you so much. So we're just gonna try it out, I guess, and see. So today I did want to go over the form submissions lesson that I taught when we had that really weird. I was hosting a room full of empty. No one showed up. You guys were trying to get in. I don't know what was going on that day, and that was the big day of the big Microsoft weird tech day that the planes were grounded and nobody was going anywhere. So I was going to redo that one because apparently the recording was corrupted. Like it was just a weird day. So I will go over form submission today, but basically if anybody has any questions, let me know. If you wanted me to show you how to do something inside a sales process, this is the time to ask. And we can go through all of that.
Hey, Tamara, remember when we were working on my calendar
Yes.
and last time,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to go to GoDaddy? I still ended up having to input a couple of codes in GoDaddy because after we got done, then I went to actually try it and it still wasn't working. So I was just going to let you know that there was a couple of codes missing on GoDaddy that was not allowing it to show up, because when you would click on it, it would say, invalid page or the 401 page or whatever. So, but there was a couple of codes that we had to put in.
Because for that to work, all you have to do is add a CNAME record to your DNS. And if you have GoDaddy, it automatically puts it on there when you try to hook it up. So when you say that you had to add some codes, what does that mean?
Like there was in where the CNAME is, when you put that in, there was like a one we had to put in and then another one. I don't remember it right now. Because it was way over my head. But luckily the tech person was, I'm like, this is above my pay grade. I'm like, I'll just do what you tell me to do.
Okay, well,
So I
awesome.
don't, which is weird because I mean, all of my GoDaddies, I don't know why that one specifically, because I haven't done anything to that one. And all the
Yeah.
other ones have worked, immediately. But I decided to let you know that, there
Okay.
are sometimes it could be a missing code from something.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, if nobody has any other questions, we'll go into the form submission. Now, forms has changed a lot since I actually started using this software. And you can pretty much create now a form that is like an order form. And you can use that instead of an actual order form. So that's one of the features that has happened. But I also want to talk about forms, custom fields, custom values. Where do I find that information once a form is submitted? How can I see what's been submitted? And how can I know that a form has been submitted? And we're going to talk about all of that today. So inside, you have a form builder inside of sales process. And this is what you're going to use to capture names, email addresses, phone numbers, any kind of information that you want. You can create custom fields that capture information that is custom to your business. So you can ask custom questions and get custom answers inside of forms as well. So in here, up here is where you're going to find your form builder. So you have your builder, your analyze menu, and then your submission menu for forms. Now, before Forms has come, like I mentioned, Forms has come a long way. But before, you couldn't send the answers to yourself, or the participant couldn't receive their answers either. You know how, like, if you create a Google form, you can choose to have your answers sent to you, and the person who owns the Google form also gets those submissions as well. And so that was kind of a piece that was missing, and now in here you can do all of that. Let me just check. I saw a comment come up here.
I just put that in there to remind me. So when you get done, we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So inside of your forms, when you're in your builder, and if we're going to add a new form, you can obviously choose from a template or start from scratch. There's hundreds of form templates, but I just want to take a look at what it's like to start from scratch. Starting from scratch gives you kind of this base of basically what almost every form always needs. Sometimes you don't need their phone number. Some people don't need their email, and they only want their form number because they're using SMS messaging, right? And of course, these are all what we call elements. All of these items outlined in orange are called elements. And you can remove an element just by clicking on it. You can remove that. You can even remove this element here with the privacy policy terms of service on it. You can remove that. You can remove the button. Or you can add things back in by going over to the left-hand side, clicking on the plus button, and here are all of your elements. Now, so these are the default elements that you can add. So I took out the email, so I'll put that back in. When you see this little star beside the element, what that tells you is that that is a required field. So that means they can't submit the form without providing you their email. You can turn that on or off, right? So sometimes we're going to have an application and we're going to ask them a bunch of questions in our form. And, you know, some of those questions are nice to know, not have to know, right? And so we can decide whether that is a required field here or not. So some of the form elements here are all your basic things, right? I want to show you here, there is the opportunity where you can drag over product elements and collect payments. So when I mentioned that you can use forms that act as payment forms or order forms like you do in your funnels, you can create that here. The reason I bring that up is because order form elements in a funnel builder, if you want to change the way they look, there's ways you can change the color of the button, but sometimes there's things that you're not super crazy about, or you would like it to look a different way. There's not a lot of design things that you can do with an order form if you don't know CSS. And so that's why I say sometimes creating your payment forms in the form builder is easier because you can style them a lot easier without code. You can just use style elements, right? So you have all of your basic things here, your addresses, organization, website field, and all of these elements, if you put them on a form, become part of the contact record. So becomes part of that person's record inside of your sales process account. Anything that they fill out gets attached to their record. There's also the option to create images, file uploads so that they can upload pictures. You can have a monetary element, a number element, so that it only allows them to put in a currency, number, or only a number, date, and signature, right? Then we have, so up here we have quick adds, then we have custom fields. Custom fields are where you get to create the different fields that you want filled out. So this is where you can create. Now you're going to notice that there's like, it'll say here, contacts, additional info, program name, survey, email engagement. You may not have all of these underneath your custom fields because basically what these are categories that we can store our custom fields in, and we can create those as well. Okay. So if we wanted to add a custom field to a form, we click on the add button. Let me do that again. We click on the add button here, and then we have all of these options. We have a single line text input, multi-line, text box, values for number, phone, or monetary. We have a drop down with a single option in it. We have a drop down with multiple options in it. We have radio select buttons. What's the difference between a radio select button and a checkbox button? Radio select will only, so let's say I have 3 options, and the radio select buttons they're going to be like the little circle buttons, and you can only choose one of the 3 options. So you use a radio select field when you only want them to be able to choose one of the options that you give them. A checkbox allows them to check multiple options that you can give to them. So that's the difference between the two and use cases for that. Then you have a date picker custom field. You have file upload, which is for them to have the ability to upload a document or an image. And then you also have your signature. So let's take a look at a radio select type of button. And once we choose the type of custom field we want to make, we're going to hit next. And here we have to give it a name. We're going to tell the system whether to attach this to their contact record or to an opportunity record. Remember, opportunities live inside of pipelines. And so if this is information about the person filling out the form, you're going to want it to be attached to the contact record, right? And then you can choose here from where you want that field to be put. So this is like your folders for all of your custom fields. If you need to create a new folder, you have to go into the settings. So back out of the form builder, which is not ideal. It's a UI kind of issue. But what you can do is create your folder when you go into custom fields. That's where you'd have to create a new folder. So let's just say that we're going to put this in our program name survey folder. And then here is where you would give them their options. And you would add an option up to and option 3. Okay. Now you can also choose images to add that are going to sit beside these options, right? If you wanted to, you could choose a file here and choose an image. Oh, my computer's taking a little while. What do I got that we can use? No. Let's see, what do I got? I'm just going through my screenshots here. Do I have anything of interest? Let's use this one. Okay. So now I have an image that is going to show up beside option 1. Now, if I choose, or you can delete options as well, right? You don't have to have that. Additional preferences. So this unique key, everybody's like, what the heck is that, right? Well, in the olden days, we required the unique key to be able to capture the information that was gathered in the form to be able to send it to the business owner. So this really doesn't apply anymore. So you don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to mess with it or anything. But if you do ever need to edit the unique key for it, it's in your settings here. Okay. So we're going to save that. And now when we come over here, we're going to see that program name survey used to have one custom field in it. Now it has two. So if I click on this drop down here, I'm going to see form demo radio buttons and radio button demo. Oh, I must have used this before in the past. So I'm going to drag over the form or the field, and we're going to have a C. So now what you see here is what it looks like, which is odd to me. Let's see. Yeah, it does look kind of strange. But basically, because I think it's because I added the image. Let's try the other one here. There, that's more what a radio button looks like. So because I added the image, it looks a little bit different, but we're going to take a preview of both of these just so we can see. So what you're saying to the person who's filling this form out is they have one choice when you use radio buttons. It's either yes or it's no. It's not, you can't be both. When you use radio buttons, you are giving them, they can only choose one thing. So let's save this up here in the top, and then we're going to go preview the form. This is going to show you what it looks like to the person filling it out. Okay. So this is what they would see. Now when you choose yes or no, you'll notice how it will not allow you to choose more than one, right? And let's say I choose this one. Again, it will only allow me to choose one, right? So this is what our form looks like. And we can go back in here. And that's how you can add custom information to your form, okay? Now, whenever you create a form, you want to give it a name, right? We want to save it. Now, there are other features here where we talk about integrate. What does that mean? Well, let's click on it and find out. So you can have the choice of how your form appears when you embed it. You have sticky sidebar. So if you roll over this, it's going to tell you it appears on the side of the screen and can be minimized to a tab that sticks to the side of the window. So that is an option for your form. And maybe you've experienced this on other websites where they have like a little tab on the side and you click on it and a form appears, right? You can have it, this one's called a polite slide in. So it appears on the bottom side of the screen and disappears once closed. This is a pop-up, and we have pop-up features that you can use inside of the builder, or you can choose that it pops up all on its own and is not inside the pop-up builder. So this appears on the bottom side of the screen and disappears once closed. And then this is your regular inline form. Okay, so it appears along with the content of the page as a native element. It does not overlay and cannot be closed or minimized, right? But here are some options inside when you're doing forms. So you can decide that when they're scrolling and you want a percentage of it, how far down the page. So let's say I'm going to choose the sticky sidebar. Okay. You want to decide, am I going to allow them to minimize the form? Yes or no, right? And it will appear on the side of the screen. And then I can decide, do I want it to appear like a 25% as they scroll down, it starts to appear. Does that make sense? Or I can choose that I want it to show after 6 seconds. Or I can choose that I want the form or the tab to always show, right? Then your activation options here. You can decide that it only happens on the first visit to your website, right? Or it can always be activated. So this is kind of nice because maybe you only want this offer to be shown to someone the first time they visit your website. After that, you don't want to offer it to them anymore. So you can decide, you can say maybe the first 5 visits, they get that offer and then it goes away. These are your deactivation options. You can deactivate after showing however many times to the person. So you can decide, especially if you use like a pop-up form, you want to say, I only want this to deactivate this after showing to them 1 time, right? You don't want the pop-up to keep popping up. We've been on websites like that and it's so freaking annoying. So you can get rid of that annoyance by putting this setting in here. You can decide deactivate once the person fills it out, right? So you can have that pop-up continually pop up for them every time they come to your website until they fill it out. And then they don't experience the pop-up anymore. So you can really put some kind of genius behind your forms, some strategy behind your forms and how they appear on your funnels or websites. You also have the option to never deactivate, right? So if we go here, you can grab an embed code. I'm gonna, let me see. I'm gonna put this back to 0. Oh. Okay. You can grab the embed code. So if you, let's say you have a WordPress website, and you want to collect leads into your sales process account, you can embed a form on your WordPress site, and the form will act just like a form does on a sales process site. It will, once it's submitted, you can build a workflow off the back end. Form submitted is the trigger. It grabs the person's information, creates a contact for them in your sales process account, and whatever you need to happen happens next in the workflow. You can also copy the form link. If you don't want to build a page and put the form on a page, you can just create a form link. So this is what I was talking about when we were mentioning about how we have branded domains, and Jodine, we had set Jodine's up the last time we were together on Monday. But if I copy this form link and I put it into a new window, I can share that link in an email and have people fill out the form. I don't need to go and build a whole funnel page if I don't want to. But when you have a branded domain, what it will say here is link.jodine.com instead of salesprocess.com. If you don't set up your branded domain link, it will say link.salesprocess.com and then this after. So that's where, if you set up your branded domain, that's where you can really make it look like it's coming from you and your business and not your software that you use, right? So now that we have talked about the integrate, you have some more options for your form, how you want it to appear, how you want it to be filled out, how many times you want it to appear. You have all of that. Now, let's talk about the versions button. So Here, I can see, if I click on the version, it's going to give me the history. So there was version 1 that was created at this day, this time. Version 2 was created at this day, this time. If I want to revert back to this image or this version, I can click on this version, and over here, you're going to get a restore version button. So let's say you make a bunch of changes to your form and you realize, oh, I just really don't like that, and it's going to take me forever to change it back. You can just click on your version history, and then you can restore it to the original version. So kind of cool, right? It gives us a few more options. Then we have our undo and redo buttons. That's just like for editing, which is really nice. And then this here are your style and your options for forms. So again, this is where you can decide what your form looks like, and you can make styling changes. Your form type is a single column. Maybe you want 2 columns, or maybe you want everything in a single line. So let's just see what happens when we click on this. Now what it's done is put my fields into 2 columns, right? If I want them in a single line, what it does is it will spread them out to the width of your form, and then it starts to wrap it, right? So that looks really wonky, but sometimes you only want to have like the email and the button beside each other, right? And you want it to be in line. So let's say I go like this, and I get rid of all of these, and I just want it to be email and my button, right? And of course, I can style these however I want, because here is where you can decide, what does this look like? Is it, how wide is my form? What is the style of my form? Is it a box? Is it a line? So do you see the input style changed from box to line? So you have some styling options there. Then this is your padding, right? So if I want to add padding to my form or reduce padding, I can do that here. If I want to show the label of the element, let's go back to that. If I want to show the label, I can toggle that on or off, right? Then my colors and my background. If I want my background color to be blue, I can do that, right? Except it doesn't, there we go. So I can choose to have it blue. I can change my font color. I can change my input background color. That's the color of your fields. So I could change that to yellow, right? That looks horrible. Then you can also upload background images, and you can also upload a header image. So that would sit at the top of your form. A background image is going to sit in the background behind all of your fields. Then we have this miscellaneous here. And this is where you want to turn off agency branding. So you want to turn, it's automatically turned off for everyone. But this will turn off like any sales process branding that might show up on your forms. Okay. And if we go into advanced settings, you can really get into the border width, the corner radiuses of your form. Let's say we wanted to make our corners round of our form, right? We can do that. You can put a border color around it. You can decide the border style. Maybe you want it dashed instead, right? You can set up your vertical and horizontal views. You can set up your blur and your spread. You can just do anything here, right? There's all kinds of stuff that you can do. You can style the placeholder. If you want the placeholder to be a different color, maybe we want it to be red. So that changed that placeholder inside of the field to red. Okay. You can change your font family, size, weight. And if you want, there's something in here that you can't change with the styling features that it allows you, you can use custom CSS. Okay, so we went through the styles. Then there's themes as well. So themes are almost like templates, but basically it's like choosing a theme for your form. So if we choose this theme, it's going to, wow, that's a loud theme. Let's change it to something a little bit more muted. There we go. And so this will give you like the background image and this gives you some options so that you don't have to build a whole landing page to embed your form on if you want it to look prettier or have more style options to it. Okay. So that's your themes. And then options is what happens when they click on the button. Now, you can have a message, you can open a link, or you can send them to an order confirmation, right? So this is a system-generated order confirmation. Nothing stylish about it. But if that's all you need, that's all you need, right? So you can choose that once they submit the button, this is the message they get. You can come in here and edit that. You can do all kinds of things. You can add links. You can change the font and everything here. You can turn on message styling so that you can change the background color, the font color, change the font family, all of that. You can also insert your Facebook pixels. So your Facebook pixel ID, your Facebook pixel events. So you can choose on page view, what do you want the event to be? And on form submission, what do you want the event to be? Okay, and then your form settings. Here is where some of these things are going to become very important, especially if you want enable time zone. So that would be, what is the contact's time zone? And that can come into effect when you have if you have date and time for a signature on a contract, you want that to be their date and time. You can here turn on use GDPR compliant fonts. And what the heck is sticky content? This, if you turn this on a form, what this does is it will automatically populate their fields if they exist in your sales process account. So if they're already a customer or a client in your sales process account and you turn this on in the forms, it will automatically populate their information in. So it'll put their name, email, phone number, address, if you have this turned on. Okay. So sometimes it just makes that filling out the form rub a little less if you have this turned on and so much of their information is already input. So that's kind of nice. All right. So we have covered, I think, everything. Let me go back here. Yeah, we've covered all of that. Now, you can do so many things with your form. There's also conditional logic, and we've talked about conditional logic when we were doing was it the webinar? I think it was a challenge. We did a challenge funnel we were going through. So conditional logic is you can add conditions to certain fields to help disqualify or qualify your leads. Use case for this, let's think about this. So say we have radio buttons set up and we say, what's your budget for this project? And we give them options like under $500, $500 to $2,000, and over $2,500. So we give them 3 options. And let's say they choose under $500. We want to disqualify that lead, because if that's their budget, that's, our services cost more than that. So we want to disqualify them and point them into a different direction, right? So if we click on disqualify lead, we would say, and I don't have this on an element but you would choose the radio button box is less than $500. Then we can show them a custom message. You could say, unfortunately, at this time, your budget, our services do not meet your budget requirements. And maybe you can send them to a free resource that you have or something like that, right? So that's how you can build some conditional logic into your form. This I find is still a bit clunky. It's getting better, but and I mean, for simple things like if you just want to send them to a link, it's really easy to do. You can display a custom message, or you can show or hide fields, right? Those are nice, but I still like to do a lot of the redirecting down certain paths inside of workflows. So, but for simple things like disqualifying a lead based on their budget, you can definitely set that up in here. Okay. So this is where you find the conditional logic inside of forms. And then this little bell is where you can turn on form notification. If you want to be notified when this form is filled out, you turn this on. Okay. So it's going to put the form name in here. You can change that if you want. You can decide who that gets to be emailed to, what the reply to email is, and the sender name. You can also turn on the autoresponder, and this will send an email to the person who filled out the form. Now, not every person wants to receive a copy of the form that they filled out, so by default this is turned off, so you'd have to come in here and turn this on. But once you turn these on, you will receive a notification by email with all of their information that they put into the form. So this is a feature that I really like now, especially if you have like an application funnel where you're collecting a lot of information and you have to make a decision about the information that they provide to you. You can do that because you're going to get a copy of the submission. It's actually going to end up in your inbox. It's going to get emailed to you and you can review it, right? So that's how you can turn all of that information on. So I think we have covered every piece of forms here on inside the builder. Okay, so we're going to save this and we're going to go back out here and we want to look at the other pieces, the other menu items inside of forms. So we have the builder, which we just went over. Of course, here you can create a folder for your forms. This button here is just, you can search for the name of a form. This is to create a form. And this is just to show you which recent forms you worked on. And then this shows you your list. So it'll always have folders first and it goes in alphabetical order. Or does it? Oh, I think because there's brackets there, it does. Oh no, it doesn't actually go in alphabetical order. It doesn't go in any order. And then you have your forms here. So if you have a form, an individual form, and you want to add it to a folder, you just click on these 3 dots. So on these 3 dots, you have a lot of options. You can move to a folder. You can share this folder with someone else. You can upload to form templates. And this may only be an option because I'm in the agency account. I don't believe you guys have the option to share form templates. I could be wrong. You can duplicate your form. View submission. Let's click on that. Okay. So this is a bad one to be in because I'm in a demo account. But if I wanted to see the submissions for all of those forms, I could do that from here. So if I go back here, let's see. So let's find a form that maybe I did a application. Let's see. Do I have any? I don't, my demo account might not have anything. Okay, so here it's showing the one submission that there is. It's showing it right here. And the nice thing about this is that you can download all of the submissions for a type of form if you need that. It will turn it into a CSV file. If you need that information to download it, you can do that. Okay. And it's going to tell you the information and anything that I filled out in the form. This is all a lot of, like this is really more about the page detail than it is about the submission. If I had a form that I'd actually filled out, that would be more helpful to show you, but I don't, just because it's a demo account. But so you can look at submissions that way. So if you want to see all the submissions for a form, just come and right click on it and do that. You can preview the form and edit the form as well. Okay. So then if we look at analyze, what we're going to see is we're going to see all of, for some reason, I can't get rid of this little box here, but all of your forms, you can see how many times they've been submitted, and you can view the submissions here. So let's look at this one. This one has 5 submissions here. So it's going to show every box that I filled out, it's showing here. Okay. So that's that submission. If I go to this one's a little bit different. Or is it the same? Oh, they're pretty much the same. But you can see all of the submissions for the form here. Yes, Jodine.
So are you talking about that little box that says you need to enter a client's card information?
Yeah, it pops up because it's a demo account. It's not closing for me this morning.
But what is that from?
So that happens if you don't have your payment information set up to pay for your sales process account. Because this is a demo account, I don't have like a credit card on file in the account to pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that means. It's
Got
just
it.
because it's a demo account. And normally I can just close it when I click on it, but this morning it's being stubborn. It's staying open.
Gotcha.
Yep. And when you look at Analyze 2, what you can see here, it will give you a breakdown of your forms that have been submitted. And it just kind of gives you this like graph. You can also manipulate the date up here and choose that if you want a date range to just look at the date range there as well. And then if you choose submission, it just looks like this. You can choose all forms. You can see every form that's ever been submitted inside of sales process, or you can choose a particular form. So if we go to the application funnel form, it'll show you what it'll do. It'll list all of the contacts that have completed the form. And then you can click onto each contact and see what their submission was, right? And then you can also, like I mentioned before, download all the submissions into a file, a CSV file. You can also export submissions. So if we export this, it's just going to export it into a CSV file, okay? So if we export it, that's what you get, a CSV file. So it will be sent to the user of the sales process account in 15 minutes. So it's just rendering that file. It's going to take them 1 second to render this file because there's only one submission, but you get the meaning. Now, so now we've talked about forms, we've talked about submissions. How do we find the answers to the questions that we've asked? But let's say we're in contacts, and this is where all of our contacts live, right? And if we go and we look at a contact, I just clicked on a contact name. You have the option up here. You can hide empty fields. And this is kind of a nice feature to know about, because otherwise, if you don't have this clicked, this is going to show every single custom field that you've ever built that you want attached to the contact record. And maybe you only want to see the ones that are filled out, right? So you can click on that, and then it will only show you the fields that are actually filled out. So here you're going to find your folders again for all of your custom fields. So remember, we had sales process custom fields, we had email engagement, program name, survey, and it's only showing the fields that are filled out. If I were to unclick this, then I would see in here the program name survey. It would show the radio buttons that we created, right? So if you are ever looking for a particular answer from someone, pull up their contact record and you can find that form field in their contact record. Any questions about forms? Yes, Stella. No?
Actually, it's not form.
Oh, okay.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, actually, it's not form. I remember last week, we asked you about the WhatsApp integration. So I thought I can ask question here.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just finish this training and then we'll open it up for some more questions.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. So, any questions about the forms, or where can I find a submission to a form? How can I be notified about a form being filled out? Any questions like that?
Can you recap how we get notification on it?
Sure. So there's two ways you can do that. If you don't need to see what the person submitted, you just want to be notified that the form was submitted, you can build that internal notification into the form submission workflow, right? So we'll create a workflow. You can have the form submitted as the trigger. So that's going to be form submitted as the trigger, and we'll just tell the system which form it is. Okay, doesn't matter, we're just doing that. And then you can send internal notification, and you can choose to receive the notification by email, the in-app notification, or SMS. And you can just say, this person submitted the lead form. And then you can decide, do you want to go and look at the lead form? It'll take you right to their contact record. Do you want to go look at the conversation or the opportunity? If it's a form, you probably want to go look at the contact. And you can decide who that notification is sent to and save that. So that's one way to receive a notification, is by building it right into the workflow. Another way is in the form builder. So if we go to the form builder and we go to our form, the bell here is the notification settings for the form. The top one is for you, the business owner, to receive an email notification. You turn that on. And what this does is it sends you an email with the fields and what they put in each field, the answers that they put in. And so you can tell the system what who to email it to, and all of that. This, if you turn this on, this sends the form submission to the person who filled out the form. So the contact. This one is to the user, the business owner. This one's to the contact. Any questions about that, Jodine?
Nope, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So, guys, we have covered forms in depth here. Now, we've talked about all the different ways that you can use forms, how to shortcut using forms. You don't have to always build a landing page for them to be embedded on. You can create form links to share, all of that. So, does anyone have any questions about what we covered in forms? If not, then we can move on to other questions. All right, Stella.
I can start to ask the question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because that I remember you taught us to we are trying to use WhatsApp, and then we actually already built the workflow, but we did not receive any message from WhatsApp. So I also not very sure what is happening. Is it that because the WhatsApp template is not set, or something is missing? Can I share screen with you what happened? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on.
Let me make sure I have my sharing permissions turned on here. There we go.
Okay. You give me a moment, yeah. So I'm here. I'm here. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So we actually already built something like this. This is the trigger tag. And
Okay.
then there's 3 trigger tags because we have context, which is a missed webinar, left early, and the one with reactivation. So we have the start date, and we will wait for 3 hours.
Okay.
Then we will go to WhatsApp. They were supposed to receive the WhatsApp, but
Okay.
But we key here, is it we shortage or select WhatsApp template?
Yes, you have to select the template.
Oh, okay. How to create a template? I think I'm missing out here.
Okay. Okay, so let's go back out of your workflow. We have to go back to your WhatsApp menu.
WhatsApp menu. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. WhatsApp menu.
So that'll be in your settings. So go down to your settings.
Settings, and then it goes WhatsApp here.
WhatsApp. That's right. Yes.
And then we are using this number.
Yeah, you're using that number, and then here is where you create your templates.
Oh, here.
Yeah. So now you can go down and create your templates.
Okay. So so I missed out this step. Okay, so this is the template that we wanted to reply to the client.
Yeah. So
correct,
this is
correct.
Where you create your template. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the step that we are missing. That's why we did not receive any of the WhatsApp.
That's right.
Thank you so much. I was figuring out.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you have to create your templates responses, and then you can tell the workflow which template to use.
Okay, thank you so much. I think this will resolve my headaches. If I couldn't, then tomorrow you will see me again.
Okay, well, good luck. I'm sure this is going to solve your problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Jodine, you said you had a request for tech on calendars. Can they default to the date updated instead of the calendar number? What do you mean by that?
So when you pull up your calendars,
yes.
It doesn't, like a lot of times you can choose the time. So the most recent one that you've used, right?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't have that feature. So the only thing it does is it defaults to the number that has been assigned to the calendar. So like when I created one, my newest one, it was like it's always on the second page. So you have to scroll through and find the calendar. And then like when you use the groups, so like if you're looking at the groups, then what happens is that default is just so if you want to turn on or off all of your calendars. So that doesn't do you any good. So it's kind of frustrating if, when you're working on, like, I was having issues with my calendar because of that, GoDaddy thing. Like I was having to do like 4 or 5 clicks to be able to find it.
Oh, yeah.
And scrolls or, all together. So I was just seeing if on calendars, the default, instead of being the number assigned, if they could do it by the date updated. And then
Okay.
that way they would, they'd be in order. Because like Peng June's, we got a whole bunch of calendars from them.
Right.
And so like those all show up first because they have lower numbers.
Right.
And then, but yet there's one that I built like from the very beginning. That's my first one. And then I got all of Peng June's. And then the last one I did is on page 2. So
Okay.
it's just kind of, it's time consuming and it
Yes.
gets confusing
Yeah.
because you're like, especially like when I was having that problem, like every time I had to do, 3 or 4 clicks versus, just 1 click for the timer, or just even if it defaulted to the update number. I was talking to tech about it, but I don't think they were catching what I was trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. It's a UI thing. Like it would be nice if they would. What I would love to see is, because you get so many templates from sales process, it'd be nice if you could throw those all in a folder, right? So that you could save them, but then you have your custom templates for or your custom calendars are right at the top. So they're always
Even if
easily.
there's like, in the other forms or other softwares, they had a thing where you could archive it. So then you could always access if you liked it,
Right.
but you didn't have to have it in your face. And that
Right.
was a good feature. So even if they could, implement some type of archive that you still had access to it, but it's in the back office versus in your face.
Yes. Yes. Gotcha. Okay, I will pass that feedback on to the development team, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see if they can do something about that.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today, CRM Connect. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Let me know what you think of the new format for office hours, because I love to take feedback back to the team and let them know how it's working for you. So as we move forward, this is really just going to be an open space for people to come and get help with tech. There is not going to be any lessons per se, unless we have requests for anything like that. So we
Is
want to
that
hear.
on all of the calls then, or just the office hours?
That is my understanding. So for office hours, yeah, like office hour calls going forward are just going to be open time for you to come and ask your questions and get help with your particular problems, and there won't be any training happening.
So just clarifying, is this segment just office hours, or are they all considered office hours?
They're all considered office hours, yeah.
Okay. So there's not going to be any like differentiating of like Funnel, Fiesta, or whatever. I mean, like they're just going to change them
Yeah,
all to office hours.
I'm not sure if they're going to change the names. They didn't mention anything about that. So I think they're still kind of clarifying exactly what it's going to be like, but
Kind of test this month and see what happens.
test it out, see what everybody feels like, if they're getting value from the calls or not, and go from there.
So I'm going to just put this out because I think it is helpful that you have, a couple of ability to come in and just ask questions.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I'm like, okay, now I'm not going to be pushed to really learn how to do these. Because I mean, for me, it's not about the prizes. It's more of it's the challenge for me. It's forced me to actually create each of the different steps so that
Mhm.
I understand and know it more. So now
Right.
I'm concerned that, people coming in, you're not going to be, and it's not forced, but you're not going to have that opportunity to really challenge yourself, because it's a lot more fun when one, you're learning together and you have that kind of camaraderie. But then the other part of that too is then you have, that the carrot at the end of the stick too, for showing up and pushing yourself. So that's
Right.
my only thoughts.
Yeah. That's great feedback. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes for sure.
For me, it's very thankful because I'm trying to figure out during the day, and then I have you to actually to ask questions during the night. So okay. I am very new, and I'm trying to figure out things, and I'm very thankful for this call because I came up twice, and then I resolved the things that which is we needed. And I believe that if you are still around and you have this office hour, then we will enjoy. If I'm stuck, then at least I can have somebody like you to assist me. You see, within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes, tutorials and help logs and stuff like that are great, but sometimes you just need to talk to somebody and say, show me how to do this. I don't understand.
Because
Right.
I went through the university and I
Yes.
went through inside one by one to check where is the WhatsApp, where is the WhatsApp. Then I think at that point of time, I think I just want to ask a question to
Yeah.
somebody that which is can talk back to me like you. Yeah, that is something that is really, really thankful.
Okay, great. That's awesome. I will take that back to the team too. Well, you guys
Stella,
enjoy your week. Have an amazing week, everyone.
can I
And
ask Stella a question before we go?
oh yeah.
Stella, do you ever use the chat on uh when you have a direct question for the tech people or the help support?
Okay, I honestly tell you, I tried to text inside the box, and then I did not receive the reply yet.
So don't send an email. Do the live chat one. So it's
Yes,
the one on the left. I
yeah.
know
That's
that
why when last week I know there's a live chat with 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 her. Did I pronounce your name properly? Tamara,
Tamara, yeah, that's right.
correct? Okay,
Yeah.
so I last week when I met her, I was so happy already. Today I meet her, I was so happy.
Sometimes you can't replace a real human, right? Like you really just want to talk to a human.
Yeah. So the
Yeah,
human that which is not don't will not wait for so long.
Yeah.
but the
my
thing is, if it gets really complicated, they will jump on a Zoom call with you there too, though. I mean, don't underutilize that because I mean, it is frustrating when you have to wait, but that tech support is amazing. And I always ask them to do a loom because like they'll explain things and I'm like, whoa, I don't understand that. And they do a loom and then I have that for reference. So,
Oh, okay. I have not tried that before yet.
yeah,
Because I'm
just tell
very
them you
happy
love
already. I
looms.
got my answer here.
Actually, tell them Jodine told you to do a loom and they'll laugh at you because they actually say, hey, we've missed you when I don't respond to them.
Okay, maybe I can. Maybe I can try next time.
Yep. Yep. But
my
definitely
suggestion,
see, I'd be interested in seeing if you tell them that Jodine told you what they say, because most of them. And then here's the other trick. I'll share this with you guys. Go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a compelling review for them, because at the end they ask you to give them a score of how well they did. So now I have ChatGPT do a compelling review for them, so they get really good reviews. It's not just me.
That's so kind of you. Oh, wow.
It's
Hey,
not just me saying, "Oh, I did a great job." It like goes into detail. I give it a few things of what it helped me do, and so
Yeah.
that's I think what they're all waiting for is to get an amazing review from ChatGPT and me.
That's nice.
hi, can you hear me? Can you
Yes. Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I like to chip in and just tell you, Tamara, that I'm really new and not particularly savvy with all this the screen and how it looks and the thinking behind it. And it happens so much to be looking over your shoulder, looking over somebody's shoulder as they do it, and as they do it, they think, they talk as they think. It helps me so much to get a feel of what the software is all about. So please take it back to your team members and tell them that this this package, the way you have it is really useful,
Okay.
especially when in your case you explain it so carefully and so clearly. I like it very much.
Oh, that's great to hear. I will definitely take that back to the team and let them know. Thank you for your
Thank
feedback, guys. You guys have an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you guys on Monday, or I guess Monday night for me, Tuesday morning for you. Have a great weekend.